Hey there, Grandma. How's it going? Are you doing well? I was just wondering if you already went to the hospital today to go make a visit?
Oh, well, hello there, Sandy. Yes, I went to the hospital today. Thank you for asking. And actually, you should know that your grandpa is getting better bit by bit every single day. So I know how worried you've been about him, but I really do think that he's going to be okay.
Really? You mean it? You think Grandpa's going to be okay? That's great news! I'm so happy to hear that. Do you have any idea when he's going to leave the hospital?
Well, the doctors haven't really given a firm date or anything yet. But I really don't think it's going to be too much longer now. I mean, it's quite crazy to think that your grandpa's been in the hospital all month.
I know, it's been so long. But I'm glad that he's getting better and that he should be getting out soon. I just wish that we lived a little bit closer so that I could have gone to see him.
Well, your grandpa talks all the time about how much he can't wait to see you. He told me today when he has to do his physical therapy to get better, he thinks of you, and it helps him.
Did he really say that? Well, you tell him that I'm always cheering him on in my heart.
I will be sure to tell him just that tomorrow, Sandy. And I'm sure that it will make him very, very happy.
Thank you so much, Grandma. That means a lot that you would do that. But if you're going tomorrow, then does that mean that you've been going to visit him every day?
That's right. If I don't go and visit him, then your grandpa tells me he feels lonely.
Aw, poor Grandpa. But I'm glad that you're getting to keep him company while he's in the hospital. I really wanted to get to go out and do something with him since it's going to be summer break soon, but I guess he will still have to rest, won't he?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you were almost done with school for the year. You must be so excited. Well, Grandpa may have to rest at home for a bit, but that doesn't mean that you can't come over and spend time at our house. I know how sad you were not getting to see Grandpa at your end-of-year recital.
I know, it was hard, but if I can see you and Grandpa this summer, then it'll all be okay.
You really are such a sweet little girl. Do you know that, Sandy? Anyways, do you have any other plans for your summer break this year?
No, I haven't really made any other plans to do anything else, actually.
Oh, I see. So you aren't going to do any camping trips or go on any trips with your family or anything like that? I thought that your parents always tried to take you to the beach or out camping or something like that every summer.
Yeah, they normally do, but I guess we're just not going to be doing anything this year. But then again, we really don't have anyone who can drive, so I guess it only makes sense.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Is your dad not at home?
Well, he isn't at home because he's actually always at work and always super duper busy.
I see. Do you have any idea what might be keeping your dad so busy?
I really don't know. Work stuff, I guess. I don't get grown-ups sometimes.
You know, Sandy, neither do I most of the time. But anyways, I wonder what's keeping your dad so busy that he hardly has any time to spend at home these days.
I really have no idea, but I think that Mom might know something that I don't. You should try asking her if you really want to know what Dad is doing.
Hello, Linda. How's it going? It's been a while since we talked. Oh my, this is Bianca, I take it, yes? That's right. Sandy just walked up to me and handed me the phone. How is Frank, by the way? Is he doing okay in the hospital? I'm really sorry that we haven't made it over there to visit him. Oh, that's okay. We understand how far away it is for you. Besides, it seems that you and my son are quite busy with work and the kids. And Frank says that it's not like he's on his deathbed or anything like that, so he doesn't really mind.
I know, I'm just so sorry that he wasn't able to make it to Sandy's recital this year. I know how much he and Sandy look forward to it.
Yes, he was disappointed to have to miss that, but... Anyways, I heard from Sandy that Liam is barely spending any time at home. Is he away on a business trip or something like that right now?
Yes, he actually is. Would you believe that his company sent him to Thailand for a whole month?
Oh, wow. I had no idea that his business even operated outside of the country. Well, that must be very hard for you all. But I suppose that means that for the summer break, it really just is going to be you and Sandy then, right?
Yeah, that's right. But I also have a lot of work to do this year, so I'm afraid it'll be a boring break for her. And it's not like I can just let her run around and do whatever she wants outside, so I just don't really know what to do at all.
Yes, these kinds of breaks are really hard to deal with when you're parents by yourself. You have to do all the cooking and make sure Sandy's staying out of trouble and all of that.
I know, I really do wish Liam was here. It all felt so much easier when it was the two of us. Especially since she isn't eating lunch at school anymore, cooking is taking up more and more of my time. I guess the kids may be on break, but that just means more work for the parents, doesn't it? I just wish that I had someone who would watch Sandy for me.
Well, you know, I was just telling Sandy that if she wanted to, she could come and spend some time with Frank and I this summer. We really don't mind hosting for a little bit, and if anything, I think it would make Frank feel better.
Oh, no, Bianca, I could never ask you and Frank to look after Sandy. I mean, Frank will have just gotten out of the hospital by then, and I can't imagine it's good for his recovery to have a child running around. But maybe after the break, when school is back in session and it's closer to fall break, we could figure something out.
Yes, please. By all means, come in the fall then. Frank and I just want to see you all at this point. We feel like it's been way too long since we've all gotten together as a family.
Well, we'll look at our calendar and see what we can do. But anyways, it was nice talking to you. Tell Frank that we're thinking about him.
Hey, Bianca, are you there? I was just texting because Sandy's summer break should have started and I wanted to check in on you.
Oh, well, thank you for being so considerate, Linda. If I can be honest, though, things have been better. I don't think I've ever been this busy in my entire life.
You mean because Liam isn't there to help take care of Sandy with you? Or do you just not feel safe at home with it being the two of you there?
No, it isn't that. This neighborhood is really safe, and I don't think there's ever been a problem here.
Well, that's good at least, but I suppose with all the bad weather you've been having the past few days, Sandy has probably been stuck in the house, huh? I just hope that you're not stressing yourself too much right now. I know that being locked in a house with your child can, well, push some parents to their limits.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. But thankfully, Sandy and I have plenty of indoor activities to do, so she isn't getting too stir-crazy. And even if the weather was good and I didn't have any work, I think that Sandy just enjoys playing indoors more than she does outdoors.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm just glad that the two of you are doing all right. And I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for messaging you while you're so busy. I just wanted to let you know that if you need anything, you can always ask me.
No, oh, Bianca, please. I really don't want to bring you into my problems or call you in just because I'm a little stressed is all. I could never do that.
Oh, please, we're family. It isn't a big deal at all. Just know that you can always call on me.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, Linda.
Oh, and just one more thing. I was going to send a little gift box of sweets for Sandy, but... Well, is there anything I shouldn't send her?
Linda, I really appreciate you wanting to do that, but you don't have to do that. And since I'm not even at home most of the time, I don't think I'd be there to receive them. And neither would Sandy, since I told her never to answer the door when I'm not home.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. You never know who it might be on the other side.
Exactly, and I think if I knew that Sandy was answering the door while I was at work, it would really drive me crazy. I never knew that having a kid would make me this nervous in my life.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. There are plenty of reasons to worry. I just hope that you're enjoying yourself as well. But anyways, as long as you're teaching Sandy to be safe, I suppose that's all that really matters.
Thank you for understanding. I really am so grateful for what you've done and want to do. But I just have my hands full dealing with Sandy, and I kind of don't need any more to think about. Of course, if anything happens and I need your help, you'll be the first to know.
Hello, Sandy. I'm sorry I can't pick up the phone right now. I'm in the hospital with your grandpa. But I can call you back soon if you just wait a little while.
Grandma, please, this is really, really bad. I don't know what to do. The house is burning. It's on fire right now.
Wait, sorry, what are you talking about, Sandy? Isn't your mom there? Are you home all alone?
Mom hasn't been home in a long, long time, and I tried calling my dad, but he won't pick up his phone. I don't know what I should do, Grandma. You have to help me. I don't have anyone else.
Wait, what do you mean that your mom hasn't been home in a while? As in she left for work this morning and still isn't home?
I mean that my mom got mad and then left the house with some other guy. Now I have no idea where she is right now.
Wait a second. You're telling me that your mom left the house with a man who wasn't your dad?
Yeah, that's right. After Dad left and summer break started, this strange man started coming over to our house. But I guess Mom and him knew each other because he was always driving her places and taking her out of the house. And then one day, a while ago, Mom left with that man and she never came back home since. I don't know who he is, but he always smelled like beer.
Sandy, do you think that your dad knows who this man is at all?
I don't know. I don't even know him. But Mom told me I could never tell Dad about him, so maybe not.
I see. This is all a lot to take in right now.
But if it's a man who isn't my dad, then that would mean my mom is cheating, right? I might not even be in middle school, but even I'm smart enough to see what's going on here.
I'm really sorry, Sandy. I think that you might have hit the nail on the head with that one. But that must make you really sad, right?
I tried telling Mom to stop cheating on my dad, but I told her that she shouldn't go out with this man anymore. I told her that if Dad knew what she was doing, and it would make him really sad, and that's when she told me that I could never, ever tell him.
I see. I'm so sorry that you're going through this right now, Sandy.
I know, but I've never seen Mom get this upset with me. Then the man she's with started getting mad at me and said that my mom was never going to come back home again.
And that's when they left? Do you have any idea when that was?
Yeah, it was about last Monday, now that I think about it.
Wait a second, last Monday? So you're telling me that you've been at home all alone all week? I don't believe this. Oh, wait a second. You said there was a fire at your house? Are you standing outside right now? You're not still in the house right now, are you?
It's okay, Grandma. I'm safe. I ran out of the house when the fire got really big, and now I'm standing outside.
Oh, thank goodness. I am so happy that you're such a clever child. Even if you are too clever for your own good sometimes. But anyways, what is the house like? How is the fire?
A neighbor came out and called a fire department and is standing out here with me, so I'm not alone right now.
Great. Oh, that is really amazing to hear. Please tell that neighbor thank you and ask if you can wait with her for a little bit. I'm going to call your mom and dad's work right now. Then after that, I'll go and pick you up. Bianca, you need to quit this foolishness and pick up the phone right now. Are you really going to pretend like you haven't noticed a single one of my calls?
Linda, I really am sorry, but I'm very, very busy with work right now, and I just don't have any time to talk at all.
Well, you should know that I got a call from your daughter last night. I'm sure that you did too, but apparently you ignored them all. How could you do that? How could you just abandon Sandy like that?
And just how did you know that Sandy was trying to call my phone last night, huh?
Well, that's because when she couldn't get a hold of you, she began to call me. She told me about how you had left the house some time ago and that you'd left her all alone at home. But she was only calling you because your house was on fire. That's all.
What on earth are you talking about? What is that even supposed to mean?
I mean your house, the place where you live with your husband and child. You know, that place? There was a fire there.
Wait, I still don't understand. What do you mean there was a fire at my house?
Do you think that I'm joking with you right now? I guess you haven't really been keeping with the local news. Otherwise, you might have heard about the fire that set a whole house up ablaze.
And you're telling me that the house that got caught on fire was my house?
That's right. Not only that, but like I said, the whole place went up. And the whole place burned down.
I don't believe this. I don't know what to say right now.
Well, I would be speechless too if I just found out that everything I own had just been burnt to a crisp. And especially if all of that happened while I was out running around with some strange man. I would just feel like I made the worst mistake of my life if that happened to me.
What are you talking about? You're still not making any sense at all.
Am I not? You're the one who didn't even know your own house had burned down because you were ignoring your own child.
But, I mean, I was at work and I wasn't looking at my phone, that's it.
Oh, really? Because it's already well into the next day now and you're still seeming surprised at all of this. It sounds to me like you've been away from home for a while now, no? Perhaps because you're out cheating on Liam right now?
That is not true. I am at work right now. How dare you even imply that I'm cheating on Liam? Just who do you think you are?
Excuse me? I'm not the one lying about being hard at work while I'm actually out leaving my daughter at home to fend for herself. I have every right to be mad at you right now.
But I'm really not lying. I'm telling you the truth. Why won't you listen to what I'm trying to tell you?
I know how busy you've said you are, so I called your work and they told me that you put in quite a large request for time off.
Wait a second. You called my work? Why would you do that? You can't just go and do that.
Well, what did you expect me to do? There was a fire at your house, your daughter was alone, your husband is in another country. and you were nowhere to be found.
But still, you didn't have to call my work because of all that.
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't an emergency, and I think your house burning down more than counts as that. Honestly, do you act this way every time your husband is away from the house? Because Sandy told me about how you told her to keep quiet. You told her that if her dad ever found out that it would crush him and that she didn't want to do that to him.
And so you mean that you've heard all about this from Sandy?
That's right. She told me everything that's been going on since her dad went away and summer break started.
And just what kinds of things has that little brat of mine been telling you, huh?
Well, she told me that ever since school got out, you started bringing this strange man over to the house more and more. And she told me about how you both tried to keep her quiet. And how you two must have thought that would be enough to keep Sandy's mouth shut under any circumstances.
But this isn't fair. I didn't cheat on my husband, I swear.
Why even try and deny it at this point? Sandy's already told me the truth. You really should have tried harder to hide your affair from your own daughter, you know.
But, I mean, Sandy just doesn't get what's happening. Yes, it's true that I was going out with this guy who she'd never met before. But she's totally wrong about the affair. He was just a friend, I swear. She read this whole thing completely wrong.
Oh, just give me a break already, Bianca. You are doing nothing but burying yourself deeper into your lies. You flaunted your affair in your daughter's face, and she didn't keep your secret for you. And because you decided to run off with this guy to who knows where, your daughter could have really been hurt. I mean, don't you even care about your own child at all? What if she hadn't been able to escape the fire?
You're right. I'm so sorry. I never wanted anything like that to happen.
So, then you admit to everything that I've said here? You really were having an affair?
I mean, affair is such a strong word. I was thinking of it more like a summer fling.
I don't really care what you call it. If you were involved with someone other than my son, that's cheating. But just what in the world were you thinking exposing Sandy to what you were doing?
I never thought that she would have been able to guess what was going on.
And just how in the world could she not have when you were bringing him over to the house for her to see? Instead, you just told her to keep her mouth shut and leveraged her love for her dad against her.
Well, that's because I knew if Liam found out that this would blow up like it is now. I just thought that if Sandy was too scared to tell her dad, that she wouldn't.
You're horrible. How could you manipulate an innocent child like that? Well, I hope that you're happy with this other man of yours, but you should know that you don't even have a home to go back to now.
And what about Liam? How much of this does he already know?
Oh, he knows all of it. We called and explained to him all about why his house was burned down.
And what did he have to say when he heard all of that?
Well, I only caught a little bit of the yelling and shouting. I had to mute my phone for a bit because I had never heard my son swear so much, and Sandy was in the room.
But then, does that mean that you think he's going to want a divorce? It's not like I wanted to marry the guy that I was seeing.
What do you think? You put his daughter in immediate danger. I can't see you talking your way out of this one, Bianca.
But he'll have to understand that I wasn't doing this because I didn't love my family. It was just a little fling, that's all, I swear.
Well, I guess that you and Liam are going to have that conversation between yourselves. But after what Sandy had to say about how you and this man of yours treated her, I really can't see him ever coming back around to you.
But you can talk to him. You can talk to Sandy and tell her that she didn't understand what she saw, and then you talk to Liam and explain how this was all just one big, huge misunderstanding, right?
I could do that. I could do a lot of things, but what you're asking me to do is lie to my granddaughter just like you lied to her. You're asking me to lie to my son just like you lied to him too. And those are both things that I simply refuse to do. Unlike you, I respect my family too much to manipulate them. You made your bed, now it's time for you to lie in it. After that, the police and firefighters investigated the fire and found out that it began in the kitchen and with a burner left on. Apparently, Sandy had been trying to cook for herself since she had no other choice when the fire broke out. Liam sued Bianca not only for her affair, but also all of the property damage that occurred not under her watch. In the end, Bianca ended up owing Liam more than she could afford. He also sued the man Bianca was sleeping with and got a pretty penny from him too. I heard that because of all the legal fees, Bianca went deep into debt. She asked both of her parents for help with her situation, but they were furious with her and refused. With no home or family, Bianca had to move into a tiny apartment and start her life over from scratch. I hear that she can barely afford to even pay rent, as so much of her salary is now going to paying off her debt. Until Liam got back from his business trip, Sandy came to stay with Frank and I at our house. Both Frank and Sandy were overjoyed to get to see one another. I remember on the night of the fire when I told Frank it looked as if he was about to have a heart attack, he was so stressed. But when I told him that Sandy was safe, his eyes softened and he was finally able to breathe again. Of course, given the severity of the situation, Liam's work didn't keep him all over there for the duration of the business trip. He was able to come back home right away to deal with all that had happened. It was from then that he dealt with Bianca and her secret lover. I don't think that I have ever seen my son's face look so angry when their lawyers met. Of course, Liam was on one side of the table while Bianca and her other man were on the other. I swear that if it weren't for those two lawyers there, my son might have taken the law into his own hands. He told me later how the night of the fire he hadn't been able to sleep for 3 days out of worry for what was going on. Once all the legal proceedings were over, he slept a whole 48 hours straight. Liam took the money he got from the lawsuits and used it to buy a house much closer to my husband and I. Sandy was so happy to get to live closer to us. And we were so happy to be able to keep an eye on her. More than anything, I'm just so happy that all of this finished without anyone getting physically injured or permanently scarred. I feel so sorry for Sandy, but I know that she's a brilliant and resilient girl with a bright, bright future ahead of her.